You want to know about what happens in the taxi? I'll tell you what happened the other day. I had a customer that came in. I picked him up from the city, and he turned around and said, "Are you a Muslim?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a Muslim." He said, "Tell me a little bit about Islam." I said, "Okay." And I told him about, that we believe in one God, and Jesus is a prophet, and that he came with the same message, and we believe that he also is a Muslim, and that the Quran, there's only one Quran in the whole wide world, about heaven and hell and things like that. And when we got to his destination, he said, about all what you've said, he said, "I still believe I'm going to go to heaven." And I said, "Well, what guarantee do you have?" He said, "Well, I'm a good guy, I don't lie, I've always got good intentions to do good things, so I'll go to heaven." I said, "Okay." He said, "Do you drink?" "Yes." "Do you go out?" Obviously, I picked him up from a club. I said, "Look, I'll give you an example." I said, "When I picked you up from the city, when you said I want to go home, with a good intention, if I actually took you to the other side of the city, to a big massive house, with a good intention, I want you to live in a nice house. When I took you there, in front of the house, I said, okay, now, you've got to pay $24.50. Were you going to pay me?" He said, "No." "So were you going to jump up and down and say, 'No, this is not where I live'?" He said, "Yes." Well, I said, "Why?" "Because you're the boss in the taxi. You are the boss. You've got to tell me where you live, and I've got to take you there. So therefore, why don't you ask the boss of heaven and hell, which is God, and see what he really wants from us?" I said, "Look into your own religion. See if it is authentic. See if human has played with it. And if it has," I said, move on and move on like I have." I said, "When I read the Quran, I knew it was from God, and that's why I've become a Muslim. There's only one Quran in the whole wide world. And therefore, I try to do what's in there so I can try to get to heaven myself." And then he looked at me, he paid his fee, and he put his head down and walked away. And I believe that night, I don't believe he slept. I don't believe he slept.